On a chilly night, an assassin named Raon, who works for the Shadow Group, feels an unshakable sense of dread. He's soon approached by his master, Derus Robert, who commends him for his efforts in improving the state of the house. Out of nowhere, his master asks him if he believes that shadows need freedom. After Raon gives the usual mechanical response, his master doesn't buy it and asks how he managed to break free from their control. The realization that he's been found out really shocks him, and he doesn't know what to say. The thing is that the House Robert kidnaps or buys young children and binds their minds to make them become assassins and loyal dogs who do their dirty bidding. Somehow, by a stroke of luck, Raon managed to break free from their control after encountering something during one of his missions. Eventually, he manages to ask his master how he found out, and he's told that all assassins working under the organization are bound with two shackles. The first one is the mind shackle, and the other is something else. A strange pain develops in his chest, and his master informs him that the second shackle is something called a rage worm, which he had implanted inside all of their bodies. The rage worm happens to be an abhorrent curse that can detect even the feelings of its captives, and it begins to eat up Raon's heart. Angry about how much his master has used him, he calls him disgusting. He receives a nonchalant response as Derus tells him that he's not disgusting but only thorough. The sad part about Raon's life is that he was too young to remember his life before he was kidnapped. All he's ever really known is being raised as a hunting dog without feelings and emotions, up until the time he became the leader of the Shadows. His only comfort was that he was able to learn the Flame Link technique, also known as the art of the continent's greatest swordsman, that eventually allowed him to break free of the mind shackles. Based on this discovery, he envisioned a life where he would finally be able to live free of the shadows, but all he seems to have gained is death and not freedom. The worm continues to bore through his heart, and he's unable to answer the gnawing question about the terrible sin he committed to deserve an empty death. Enraged, our guy promises himself that he won't die like a dog, and he will leave a mark on Derus before he dies. He surprises Derus by managing to get up despite the pain and rushing towards him, but he soon gets decapitated since he's no match for his master. Derus, who regards Raon as a piece of trash who broke his mind shackles, gets hurt by Raon's frontal attack, and he wonders how the boy was able to hit him despite the pain from the rage worm. It's truly been a long time since someone managed to injure him. He instructs some of the other assassins to get rid of the dead dog and leaves. Raon's decapitated head starts to reason that it was pointless to have conceived that he could defeat one of the most powerful warriors on the continent. Sudden rage builds up within him as he recalls how his master forcefully dragged him into this life, manipulated him, and ended his progress with mastering the flame links. As the last iota of life drains out of him, the only prayer on his lips is that some being, whether a god or a demon, can grant him mercy and allow him to exact his revenge. As if on cue, a trinket that was around his neck begins to glister, and a strange screen appears to notify him that he's been chosen by a being called Wrath. Unfortunately, before Wrath can descend onto his body dies, and the process is cut short. Sometime later, a young woman plays with her baby, whom she nicknamed Sunshine. Her new baby happens to be Raon, who seems to have been reincarnated into the family of this woman named Sylvia. Raon still retains his memories from his days as an assassin. It all seemed quite unbelievable for him, and he had thought it was a dream. But he eventually had to accept that he'd been reincarnated when he realized this is a dream he doesn't seem to be waking up from. In a playful chatter, his mother tries to communicate to him that the Lord of the House is yet to return to give him a proper name, but she doesn't know he understands every word she's saying. To Raon, it's unclear why it's taking him so long since he's been born for about 100 days. It's clear to Raon that the family he's been born into is one that is rich and prestigious. To him, it's a great advantage to have been born into such a family, because he's going to need all the resources he can get in his revenge against Derus. Because he's not left the building since he's been born, it's unclear to him where he is or what position he has in the family. To make matters worse, he's been unable to master the Flame Links technique, so exacting revenge against Derus is going to be something to stow away for a while. Shortly after, a maid named Helen bursts into the room and informs Lady Sylvia that the Lord of the House has returned. The lady frantically tries to prepare, but it turns out to be too late, as the Lord soon walks in through the main door. The man carries a strong aura, and Raon recognizes him the moment he steps closer. Because Sylvia refers to him as her father, it seems that this is his grandfather. From his facial features, it's clear to Raon that this is no other person than House Sieghart, the Northern Lord of Destruction, the head of the continent's apex. He seems to have been reincarnated into the most powerful family in the country.
The plot thickens. Get ready for a jaw-dropping twist. RMC's hidden struggle exposed in Chapter 2. Don't miss out. Subscribe, like, and share to join the suspense.